A very warm and hearty good afternoon to one and all present over today's World Economic Forum. Today, I, Preet Giri, a student of Class 11 Arts, am going to represent one of the greatest economies of the world, that is Germany. So, Germany बोलने से आप सभी के माइंड में हिटलर आता होगा, but there is much more to Germany than just Hitler. And Germany, or officially Federal Republic of Germany, has the largest economy in Europe and the fourth largest economy in the world. Germany accounts for 7.2% of global trade and has the largest trade surplus. Now you must be thinking what trade surplus is. So Germany एक ऐसा country है जो exports ज़्यादा करता है than imports. So it has the largest trade surplus. And Germany has a very impressive manufacturing industry. जो आप आजकल BMW, Audi and Mercedes-Benz ये सब cars देखते हो, ये सारे cars जर्मनी में मैन्युफैक्चर होते हैं and these are exported globally. And now let me tell you a fun fact. So Germany, which is the fourth largest economy in the world, was once called the sick man of Europe. Now it was called the sick man because Germany यूरोप का पार्ट है and यूरोप के सारे कंट्रीज़ में डेवलपमेंट हो रहा था, बट जर्मनी का जो इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ था दैट वाज ओनली 1.2% पर ईयर फ्रॉम 1998 to 2005. सारे कंट्रीज़, यूरोप के सारे कंट्रीज़ में डेवलपमेंट हो रहा था, बट जर्मनी वाज स्टिल ऑन द सेम पेस, ज़्यादा डेवलपमेंट्स नहीं हो रहा था, इसीलिए उसको सिक मैन का टाइटल दे दिया गया था. And but this is not the case with Germany today. In fact, today Germany comes under the top 10 powerful countries of the world. And so let's have a look at how the sick man of Europe became the economic superstar in less than a decade. So I will start with a quote said by the famous American astronomer and planetary scientist Carl Sagan. "You have to know the past to understand the present." So with that, I'll start with the past. That is, we will look into the history of Germany first, and then we'll move on to the current situation. So I'll give you a glimpse of the World War II and the impact of that on the German economy. World War II was a global conflict that lasted from 1939 and 1940 to 1945. So in the World War II, many countries fought, and which led to the formation of two groups, the Axis and the Allies. Germany was the part of the Axis powers and the US was the part of the Allies powers, and along with many other countries. So World War II का result ऐसा था कि the Axis powers lost and the Allies power won. So अभी Germany, since it was the part of the Axis powers, so it has to face the consequences of the World War II. So now we'll look at the consequences of World War II on the economy of Germany. So first says 20% of the housing was destroyed. So wars में बहुत destructions हुआ था. 20% of the housing got destroyed. People became homeless. Since the housing were destroyed, people had no shelter to live, and so they were left homeless. Second was infrastructure was damaged. So war के दौरान हम सभी को पता है बहुत destructions होता है. उसके वजह से railways, roadways, airways and ports, also bridges and electrical appliances सब कुछ डैमेज हो गया था. एंड उसके वजह से बहुत डैमेज हुआ, एंड उसके वजह से बहुत हार्म हुआ टू द इकोनॉमी ऑफ जर्मनी. एंड ये इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डैमेज वाज कॉज्ड मेनली ड्यू टू द artillery attacks and air strikes. Then comes agriculture was down by 51%. So agriculture level down हो गया था. Before the war, the agriculture level was fine, but after the war, the agricultural level came down by 51%, and agricultural production ज़्यादा नहीं हो रहा था, which in turn led to the famines in most parts of Germany. So agricultural production ज़्यादा नहीं था, so people को food का ये supply ज़्यादा नहीं मिल रहा था, and so this led to famines. Then comes Reichsmark currency lost its value. So World War II के टाइम में जर्मनी का जो करेंसी था वो था Reichsmark, and उसका करेंसी का उस करेंसी का वैल्यू गिर गया था, तो उसके कारण पीपल बिगेन ट्रेडिंग इन बार्टर सिस्टम. सो इन एक्सचेंज ऑफ टी, कॉफ़ी एंड सिगरेट्स पीपल एक्सचेंज फूड. मतलब टी, कॉफ़ी, सिगरेट्स देकर पीपल वेर टेकिंग फूड फ्रॉम द पीपल who had accumulated the food. So price controls on goods and services that led to shortages and massive black market. Now जर्मनी का गवर्नमेंट ने वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के टाइम पे सारे गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज पे प्राइस कंट्रोल लगा दिया था ताकि द इकोनॉमिक में स्टेबिलिटी आए. सो प्राइस कंट्रोल एक ऐसा सिचुएशन होता है जिसमें गवर्नमेंट हर गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज का एक मिनिमम एंड एक मैक्सिमम प्राइस सेट कर देती है. सो दैट्स व्हाट द जर्मन इकोनॉमी एट दैट टाइम अडॉप्टेड. एंड जर्मनी का गवर्नमेंट ने ये प्राइस कंट्रोल लगाया और उसके वजह से मैसिव ब्लैक मार्केट्स और शॉर्टेजेस हुआ. नाउ लेट मी एक्सप्लेन यू व्हाई. सो जब प्राइस कंट्रोल लग गया तो वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 के टाइम में डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा था एंड सप्लाई ऑफ द गुड्स वॉज वेरी लेस एज वी सॉ बिकॉज द एग्रीकल्चर लेवल वॉज डाउन एंड मैनी अदर फैक्टर्स. सो सप्लाई ज़्यादा था, कम था एंड डिमांड बहुत ज़्यादा था. उसके वजह से द गवर्नमेंट पुट प्राइस कंट्रोल्स एंड जिसके पास वो गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज एक्यूमुलेटेड थे दे वेंट टू द ब्लैक मार्केट्स and sold those goods and services at a very high price, and which led to shortages for the common public because उनके लिए प्रॉफिट ज़्यादा मैटर करता था और वो ये गुड्स एंड सर्विसेज को हाई प्राइजेस पे बेचते थे इन द ब्लैक मार्केट और उसकी वजह से द कॉमन पीपल डिड नॉट हैड एक्सेस टू दोज गुड्स. Then comes a large number of Germany's working age people were dead. So हमें सबको ये पता है कि जर्मनी या कोई भी वॉर होता है तो मोस्टली यंग पीपल आर इन्वॉल्व बिकॉज ऑफ देयर प्रोडक्टिविटी. सो उसमें जर्मनी के वॉर में पीपल मोस्टली द यंग वर्किंग एज पीपल वर डेड एंड उसके वजह से द इकोनॉमी में वर्किंग एज पीपल नहीं थे इतना. सो उसकी वजह से इकोनॉमी को बहुत हार्म हुआ था. नेक्स्ट विल मूव ऑन टू द सो आफ्टर दिस वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 का सारा कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस हो गया. देन ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 आज जैसे आप जर्मनी को देखते हो एज अ होल कंट्री, बिफोर ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ वर्ल्ड वॉर 2 जर्मनी वॉज डिवाइडेड इनटू 2 पार्ट्स, ईस्ट जर्मनी एंड वेस्ट जर्मनी. एंड ईस्ट जर्मनी adopted a communalist economic system and West Germany adopted a capitalist economic system. So वेस्ट का जो एक कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमिक सिस्टम था दैट बिकेम एन एडवांटेज फॉर देम. एंड एज सेड बाय वन सेकेंड, सो वेस्ट में तब जर्मन इकोनॉमिक मिरेकल हुआ था बिकॉज वेस्ट का कैपिटलिस्ट इकोनॉमी था एंड उसमें एक एडवांटेज हो गया था उनको कि capitalist policies के through they could improve their economic conditions. So in the West then came the German economic miracle. So as Mahatma Gandhi quoted, "We may stumble and fall but shall rise again. It should be enough if we did not run away from the battle." So this was what the West Germany did. In spite of all the hardships and economic challenges that the West Germany was facing, it adopted the capitalist system and then came up with the German economic miracle. So German economic miracle refers to Germany's rebirth as a global power after the devastation of World War II. And this man right over there, he is called the father of German economic miracle. He is Ludwig Erhard. He was the Chancellor of West Germany from 1963 until 1966. So he was called the father of German economic miracle because of his policies and programs that he had bought and implemented in the West Germany, because of which the West Germany developed more than the East Germany. Now we'll look at the causes of German economic miracle. First is ordoliberalism or social market economy. So ordoliberalism और social market economy एक economic system है जिसके अंदर there is a perfect balance between capitalist पॉलिसीज़ एंड सोशल वेलफेयर। मतलब ऐसा नहीं था कि कैपिटलिस्ट पॉलिसीज़ फॉलो करेंगे और सिर्फ हम लोग प्रॉफिट एक्यूमुलेशन में ही ध्यान देंगे, बट इसमें गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन भी था। ये ऐसा सिस्टम था जिसमें कैपिटलिस्ट पॉलिसीज़ तो फॉलो करेंगे ही हम, बट हम लोग गवर्नमेंट इंटरवेंशन को भी ध्यान देंगे, बिकॉज एंड एट द टाइम द जर्मन गवर्नमेंट अडॉप्टेड दिस सिस्टम बिकॉज उनको एक लेवल प्लेइंग ग्राउंड देना था सभी को, ताकि सभी लोग अच्छे से ट्रेड कर पाए, सभी को एक फेयर चांस मिले ट्रेड करने का, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ विच सभी को फेयर चांस मिला। एंड ऑल्सो द गवर्नमेंट वांटेड टू इंश्योर कि बिकॉज कैपिटलिज्म में हम देखते हैं कि जब किसी के पास प्रॉफिट एक्यूमुलेशन का चांस आता है तो वो चाहते हैं कि सारा वेल्थ उनके पास ही आ जाए। सो द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ वेस्ट जर्मन थॉट दैट नो, दिस इज़ नॉट राइट, एंड सो दे बॉट अप दिस पॉलिसी। एंड इसके अंदर द गवर्नमेंट वांटेड टू इंश्योर कि किसी के एक मतलब कोई भी एक इंसान मोनोपोली नहीं डेवलप कर पाए, ताकि वेल्थ एक्यूमुलेशन किसी एक के हाथ में ना हो। एंड नेक्स्ट कम्स replacement of German currency Reichsmark by a new currency known as Deutschmark. So as I have mentioned earlier, the German currency Reichsmark lost its value. So because of that, the new chancellor Ludwig Erhard replaced the Reichsmark currency by Deutschmark currency, and इसके वजह से क्या हुआ था, ब्लैक मार्केट्स तो चल रहा था वो स्टॉप हो गया था, एंड उसके वजह से पीपल पहले क्योंकि करेंसी का वैल्यू गिर गया था तो पीपल स्टार्टेड ट्रेडिंग इन बार्टर सिस्टम। So people started trading in barter system, and so when the new currency was introduced, people's faith in the currency was restored, and they started dealing in monetary or money again, because the faith in currency was restored. क्योंकि अभी with the introduction of the new currency, the value of the currency increased. So अब people ने barter system छोड़कर money में trade करना शुरू कर दिया था फिर से, and taxes were reduced. So before Ludwig Erhard became the chancellor of West Germany, taxes बहुत ज़्यादा चार्ज किया जा रहा था. People who earned around 2,400 Deutschmarks were taxed around 85% of their earnings, and with the coming of the new chancellor, the taxes were reduced and it was made to only 18%. Then comes the most important cause of the German economic miracle, that is the Marshall Plan or the European Recovery Program. So the Marshall Plan, or also known as the European Recovery Program, was a US sponsored program that was implemented following the end of World War II. It was laid out by the US Secretary of State George Marshall during an address at Harvard University in 1947. So ये मार्शल प्लान यूएस के तरफ से इम्प्लीमेंट किया गया था, एंड ये यूएस विच वाज द लीस्ट अफेक्टेड कंट्री ड्यूरिंग द वर्ल्ड वॉर टू, उसने ये प्रोग्राम को स्पॉन्सर किया था. अंडर दिस प्रोग्राम द यूएस गेव about $13,000 to the West Germany to reconstruct their infrastructure. And आज के वर्ल्ड में कोई भी कुछ काम नहीं करता है विदाउट देयर प्रॉफिट्स. सो इसके पीछे भी यूएस का प्रॉफिट्स था. यूएस ने जो वेस्ट जर्मनी को हेल्प किया तो उसके पीछे यूएस का कुछ मोटिव्स था, वो था कि यूएस चाहता था कि जो वेस्ट जर्मनी है दैट शुड रिमूव द ट्रेड बैरियर्स on them, also the tariffs, and also the US wanted that the West Germany के साथ उनका relationship और अच्छा हो जाए ट्रेड में, और they wanted to foster commerce. Also क्योंकि ईस्ट जर्मनी में कम्युनलिस्ट पॉलिसीज़ था, so they were afraid कि वेस्ट जर्मनी भी इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाएगा because of the communist policies, and so the US wanted कि उनके साथ अच्छा रिलेशनशिप बना के विद द वेस्ट जर्मनी दे कुड प्रिवेंट द spread of communalism around the world. Now we'll look at the results of the German economic miracle. So industrial output increased by 125% from 1950 to 1960. So because of the destructions that was caused by the World War II, industrial output, because of the implementation of this policies and also because of the coming up of this economic miracle, industrial output increased from 125%, increased by 125% from 1950 to 1960. Then the German economy grew by around 8% every year in the 1950s. पहले जर्मनी का ग्रोथ इतना नहीं हो रहा था, it was around 2 to 3%, but then after the German economic miracle, it grew by 8% per year. Exports rose from 8.4 billion Deutschmarks in 1950 to 41.2 million in 1959. So अब जब कंट्री का इकोनॉमी कई हद तक स्टेबल हो गया था, then it started exporting and exports rose from 8.4 billion to 41.2 billion. The economy of East and West Germany became larger than the economy of UK in 1955, and this was all because of Ludwig Erhard and his policies. कि in such a short span of time, it became the largest, one of the largest economy, and even crossed the UK in 1955. The per capita GDP surpassed the UK in 1950. So the growth was seen in the economy as well as the GDP of that West Germany it surpassed the UK in 1970. And now because हम लोग का हिस्ट्री बहुत इम्पैक्ट करता है हमारा प्रेजेंट सिचुएशन पे. सो प्रेजेंटली जो जर्मनी 4th लार्जेस्ट इकोनॉमी है इन द वर्ल्ड, दिस इज़ ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ इट्स हिस्ट्री एंड ऑल्सो Ludwig Erhard played a very important role by implementing his policies in West Germany. So as we have got a glimpse of the past, now we'll move on to the current situation or to the 21st century. I'll again begin with a quote by a very famous German economist, Hjalmar Schacht. He says, "The economy is a very sensitive organism, and we all know this." कि अगर वर्ल्ड के किसी एक भी पार्ट में, किसी एक इकोनॉमी में कोई चेंज आता है, then it influences and affects the economies of all around the world. And the greatest example of this is COVID-19. वो चाइना में आया, चाइना का इकोनॉमी को ख़राब किया, and then it affected all the economies of the world. So currently we all know कि there is a war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and because of this the economy of Germany is facing a very hard time along with the other states, other countries of Europe. But Germany का जो इकोनॉमी है उसको ज़्यादा इफेक्ट हो रहा है because of this war, because of Germany's dependence on Russia's and Ukraine's economy. So Germany imports most of its, or I can say the largest amount of imports of fossil fuels comes from Russia to Germany. And because of this war, Russia ने अपना सप्लाई ऑफ फॉसिल फ्यूल्स कट डाउन कर दिया है, और जर्मनी को बहुत कम अमाउंट्स में ये सप्लाई आ रहा है ऑफ फॉसिल फ्यूल्स, विच इज़ लीडिंग टू द एनर्जी क्राइसिस. सो let me give you the definition for energy crisis. Energy crisis is any severe blockage in the delivery of energy resources to an economy is referred to as energy crisis. So since the war, energy crisis is a very important aspect of the German economy, because अब जर्मनी को इस एनर्जी क्राइसिस से बाहर निकलने के लिए भी कुछ वेज वो करना है, अडॉप्ट करना है. सो currently let's look at the impact of this energy crisis on the economy and households. So first comes inflation. So because of inflation is a situation in which prices of goods and services hikes. So अभी since इसका एक possible reason ये हो सकता है कि direct supply chains of Germany with Russia and Ukraine and also via Russia to Asia has been broken down. तो अभी import करने के लिए जो हम लोग raw materials, goods and services, also energy एंड ट्रांसपोर्टेशन कॉस्ट बढ़ रहा है क्योंकि डायरेक्ट सप्लाई चेन्स नहीं है. अब हम लोग को दूसरे रूट्स चूज़ करना पड़ रहा है. उसके वजह से प्राइजेस उस सेक्टर में राइज हो रहा है एंड दिस इज़ लीडिंग टू द इन्फ्लेशन एंड द कॉमन पीपल हैव टू डील विद दिस एंड दिस आफ्टर दिस कम्स द रिसेशन. सो recession is a condition in which the economy of a country or the GDP falls for a temporary period of time. And so since GDP because of inflation, it has been said by many economic commissions of Europe that since prices of energy has been increasing, inflation बहुत ज़्यादा हो रहा है, goods and services का prices बहुत बढ़ रहा है and so it can push Germany into a recession. मतलब अगर Germany इस inflation rate को ठीक नहीं कर सकता है then it can go into a recession and the inflation rate of Germany in 2022 was 8.6%. So it is a fairly high rate and अगर जर्मनी इस इन्फ्लेशन रेट को ठीक करने के लिए कुछ नहीं करेगा then it will fall into a recession. Then is supply chain bottleneck. So supply chain bottleneck is a condition in which it is basically a point of congestion in a production system that stops or severely slows down the system. So Germany पहले with the coming of pandemic, Germany has been dealing with the economic hardships and now then comes the labor shortages because of the pandemic, then shifts in demand and now the Russia-Ukraine war. So इसके वजह से जर्मनी का जो प्रोडक्टिविटी है वो लो हो गया है क्योंकि बिकॉज ऑफ इन सारे प्रॉब्लम्स से पहले जर्मनी we will understand with this. Germany का economy was doing very fine before the coming of pandemic and all, but जैसे pandemic आया then labor shortages हुआ and then now the Russia-Ukraine war, it is creating a bottleneck situation. So smooth flow मतलब पहले Germany का economy was in a good flow, economy was developing at a really good pace, but then when because of all the problems, it created a point of congestion because of which the productivity of Germany reduced. क्योंकि Germany has been dealing with the problems since the pandemic and now एक ऐसा point आ गया है जिसकी वजह से उसका productivity low हो गया है and GDP has started to fall. So this was the impact of the energy crisis on the household and the economy of Germany. Inflation हो रहा है, recession में it has been अभी तक recession में put नहीं हुआ है Germany, but the economists of Germany are afraid that अगर inflation rates कम नहीं होता है then it will fall into a recession and supply chain bottlenecks हो रहा है मतलब because of all the problems the productivity of Germany is reducing. So now we'll move on to Germany's relationship with India. So Germany's relationship with India is a very positive one and it is based on common democratic policies and mutual trust and respect. And in fact, after the Second World War, India was one of the first countries to establish democratic relations with the Federal Republic of Germany. मतलब ऐसा नहीं है कि recent times में जर्मनी के साथ हम लोग का इंडिया का relationship हुआ है in terms of trade and commerce, but it has been from a really long time, that is from the beginning of the Second World War. After the Second World War, then comes non-alignment policy of India. So we all know कि India follows a non-alignment policy. अभी भी रशिया और यूक्रेन के वॉर के टाइम्स में इंडिया ने ना रशिया का साइड लिया ना यूक्रेन का. It was neutral. It was non-aligned. So from the beginning, India follows a non-alignment policy, and it was because of this policy that India had bilateral relations with both East Germany and West Germany, and in fact India supported the reunification of East Germany and West Germany in the 1990s. Also, in the 21st century, both economic and political interaction between India and Germany has increased significantly. So, World War के time में या history में the relationship with India of our country Germany was not that much, मतलब relationship था, but it was not that significant. Now in the 21st century, it has become significant because of the collaborations we have and because of the discussions we carry out. Then in 2000, both the countries agreed on May 2000 agenda for the Indo-German partnership in the 21st century. So under this agenda, both the countries agreed to have discussions, to carry out discussions and to carry out collaborations with each other. Then comes Germany is India's largest trading partner in Europe. Bilateral trade grew to 20.41 billion euros in 2018. So Germany is India's largest trading partner in Europe, and also India is one of those countries with which Germany carries out IGC, that is intergovernmental consultation. तो IGC के अंदर क्या होता है? The government of Germany and India, they carry out discussions and consultations with each other कि अगर किसी भी like India के economy को कोई problem हो रहा है, then India and Germany's economies will meet and they will have discussions and consultations and will recommend each other ways to come out of those problems. And ये जो IGC, that is intergovernmental consultation होता है between India and Germany, that happens in a period of 2 years. Then Germany's FDI in India from April 2000 until June 2019 amounted $11.9 billion. So foreign investment भी बहुत हो रहा है from India to Germany, from Germany to India. Then Germany along with India is shaping the world order. Now you must be thinking how only the two countries are shaping the whole world order. So this is because Germany along with India and Japan and Brazil are part of the G4, and these countries under the G4 are trying to seek the permanent seat of the UN, and so that they could bring reforms in it. India and Germany along with Japan and Brazil अभी तक इनके पास UN का permanent seat नहीं है, so they have made a group and that is known as the G4, and इसके अंदर उनको UN का permanent seat चाहिए ताकि उन लोग उसमें reforms ला सके, and they could also play their part in that. So for this they are working in collaboration. Then comes India and Germany signed a defense cooperation agreement in 2006. So ये defense cooperation agreement के अंदर India and Germany will carries out discussions and collaborations and also consultations about the security of the economy, about the defense system, and also इसके अंदर एक बहुत important चीज़ भी discuss किया जाता है, that is how to counter terror activities. अभी terror activities बहुत हो रहा है, and Germany, since it is a developed country and India is still a developing country, so they carry out their discussions so that they can help each other to counter those terror activities. Then also Indo-German Science and Technology Cooperation was signed in 1971. So ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ इकोनॉमिक या डिफेंस या फिर ट्रेड रिलेशंस है. India and Germany has relationship in terms of science and technology also. Since Germany is a developed country, it has better technology, and so with India it exchanges its technology and science. And India में बहुत scientists है, and Germany is a developed country, so they interact and they exchange their ideas. Great cooperation between India and Germany can be seen in terms of clean energy technology. So Germany में एक river है, that is river Rhine, एंड जर्मनी ने अपना इस रिवर को पहले ही क्लीन कर दिया है. एंड नाउ वी नो इंडिया में एक इनिशिएटिव अडॉप्ट किया गया है, दैट इज़ क्लीन गंगा इनिशिएटिव. So Germany is helping India in this initiative by sharing its experiences. So Germany, जैसे Germany ने अपना father Rhine as they call it, उनको clean किया है. So now Germany is giving help to India in terms of technology to help clean Mother Ganga. Then 1.7 lakh Indians. So Germany में अभी करंट टाइम में अबाउट 1.7 लाख इंडियंस और इंडियन ओरिजिन पीपल है. एंड अगर किसी भी लाइक दिस इज़ अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट बिकॉज थ्रू पीपल वी एक्सचेंज आवर कल्चर एंड वी ऑल्सो एक्सचेंज आवर वेज एंड एथनिसिटी. सो इंडियंस in Germany and Germany in Indians, this is a very important aspect because इसके through we are improving our relationships. and इसके अंदर एक policy है DARD, that is for the this students who study in Germany and India. ये एक this दोनों के बीच साइन किया गया है for the students for their facilitation so that they can move across freely from India to Germany. Now we will move on. Why should any country like to invest in Germany? That is benefits of investing in Germany. So I missed this part. This was इंडिया एंड जर्मनी का रिलेशनशिप आफ्टर द फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर ही था, आफ्टर द सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर से ही शुरू था. एंड रिसेंटली इन 2021 इंडिया एंड जर्मनी सेलिब्रेटेड 70 years ऑफ देयर bilateral relationship. And in order to celebrate the bilateral relationship between the two countries, these stamps were released on 10th June 2021. This was a stamp released by India and that was a stamp which was released by Germany. And both the stamps read 70 years of diplomatic relations between India and Germany. Benefits of investing in Germany. Germany is a very attractive country in terms of foreign investment because it has the largest economy of Europe and the fourth largest economy of the world. And Germany का coping mechanism बहुत अच्छा है. And this is proved because जैसा जर्मनी का कंडीशन हो गया था आफ्टर द वर्ल्ड वॉर टू, इट वुड टेक डिकेड्स फॉर एनी अदर कंट्रीज टू कम आउट ऑफ दैट सिचुएशन. बट जर्मनी विदिन in less than a decade it coped with the situation and became the largest economy of Europe. So also the manufacturing industry of Germany is very fine. As I've mentioned earlier, BMW, Audi, ये सब सारे cars जर्मनी में ही ये बिल्डअप किए जाते हैं एंड एक्सपोर्टेड किए जाते हैं टू द वर्ल्ड. देन बेनिफिट्स आर एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी. एज आई हैव ऑलरेडी मैंशन, जर्मनी इज़ अ डेवलप्ड कंट्री. सो जर्मनी का टेक्नोलॉजी इज़ वे बेटर देन द डेवलपिंग कंट्रीज़. एंड यहाँ पे अगर कोई वर्क करना होता है तो बिकॉज ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी यू कैन डू योर वर्क ईजिली एंड फास्ट एंड efficiently हो जाता है सारा work. Then workforce. Germany has a very specialized and educated workforce. यहाँ पे after the World War II the working age people कम हो गया था, but now it is fine. And so वो working age people, they are very specialized and very educated. Also many of the workforce of Germany, they know the language English, so there will be no communication barrier between the countries who want to invest in Germany. The taxation system in Germany is very competitive in comparison to other EU states. तो यूरोप में बहुत सारे states होते हैं, countries होते हैं, but Germany is the main which has the largest economy. So the taxation system in Germany is way better than that of other EU states because अगर you are a foreign investor and you are investing in German company or in Germany, so अगर आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो और आपका इनकम इतना नहीं हो रहा है, so it doesn't mean कि you are a foreign investor and so you will have to pay this amount of tax. This is not the case. In fact, if you are earning low, then you will have to pay low taxes, and so this could attract the other foreign investors. Next is corruption is limited. Foreign investors who want to invest in Germany can invest being carefree because of its liberal policies and democratic policies. Also, if you are a foreign investor, you can buy properties in Germany without being afraid of being exploited. Foreign investors are allowed to have a major shareholding in a German company. So we have seen कि बहुत सारे countries में if you are a foreign investor, you are not allowed to hold a major share of that company. But this is not the case with Germany. If you are a foreign investor and you have invested something in a German company, you can even have the majority of the shareholding. Then let us move on to the future of the German economy. It is predicted that the German economy will grow by 2.6% in 2023 according to the European Commission. The growth might slow down due to the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. According to Bundesbank, the inflation levels would remain around 7% in 2023 before retreating significantly in 2024. So currently, Germany में inflation rate in 2022 it was 8.6%, but for 2023 it has been predicted that it will remain at 7%, and the German economic growth it will grow by 2.6%. And because of the war, because of the pandemic, because of the high energy prices, because of inflation, Germany is facing a really hard time. But in my opinion, I believe that this is less than the destruction which was caused by the World War II. And since Germany was able to very gracefully come up from the situation of the World War II, since Germany was able to transition itself from being the sick man of Europe to the economic superstar, in that way I believe Germany will come out of these challenges very soon, and it will prosper more in the future times. So there is a British author named John Camphor. He was so inspired by Germany's transition that he wrote a book named Why the Germans Do It Better, Notes from a Grown-Up Country. So there is indeed something, there is indeed a magical element to the coping mechanism of Germany and to the economy of Germany, that every time it falls, it rises up, and it becomes the most powerful when it rises up again. So looking at this, I believe that Germany ka economy will prosper more, and inflation rates are going down because Germany is adopting more liberal policies to bring it down. Also, Germany has the potential to become the first largest economy of the world because of its coping mechanism. And with that, I would like to conclude my presentation over here, and I think it was an informative one. Thank you everyone for bearing with me for so long.